Guess who's back? Rope Breaks back. And you know what? WrestleMania season is back, and we can't be happier to be here. Jean Paul, Juan, you already know who it is. And like we said, SmackDown just finished up. Hall of Fame is going on right now. We see Mick Foley in the giant suit tuxedo that he always wears. Looks like he's swimming in it. We love it. But, you know, SmackDown just ended. Like we said, WrestleMania is on us tomorrow. I don't know how you feel, Juan, but for me personally, this is one of the WrestleManias, and it's mostly because of the bloodline and the picture you have, you know, right there on the screen. But this WrestleMania actually has me excited. I would say the past maybe 3 or 4 years, this has been, I think, like the most exciting. Not just the bloodline, but lots of other really good matchups on these two nights.
Exactly. So, family, welcome to all of you. We've been absent for a little bit, but you know we're back. So, hi, greetings to all of you. WrestleMania season is right now was like probably the most important weekend of the whole year is right here for professional wrestling fans. And like Jean Paul was mentioning, this is like, you know, WrestleMania that is under more Triple H, a lot of long-term booking. So that has been really good. A lot of good matches. 2 nights we're going to have. So like be with us to talk about all of that. This Hall of Fame. Jean Paul, actually, we've been playing at WWE 2K23. I want his thoughts. Is it better than the other ones? You know, Jean Paul is the expert in the gaming and everything. We have a lot of people, so be with us. And Paul, you know, this SmackDown, it was called SmackDown, or WrestleMania SmackDown, because all roads lead to Roman. This rivalry, do you think that is one of the best ones in the past years? This was better than Lesnar's, you know, like, to me, it was pretty good. So let's hear it from you.
Yeah, I mean, you know, they've been building this thing since Cody came to the company. You know, you kind of, you know, he had to feud with Rollins and everything, but he was still cutting these promos on Roman and everything with his, you know, with Dusty Rhodes, how he won the belt, but he didn't really win it, and they screwed him in the Garden. And, you know, he wants to win that belt for his daddy, but also win it for, you know, his family and just take down Roman Reigns and everything. So, no, this is great. Long-term booking, you know, some people said all predictable, some people wanted Sami Zayn, but I think with everything we're seeing, you know, you got to trust Triple H like we did when he was fully in charge of NXT in the glory days. We trusted him and he delivered. You know, you trust him here on the main roster, he's delivering. And no, I mean, I think this is better than the feud with Lesnar. Was good when they had the unified belts and everything, or to unify it, however you want to call it. But I mean, no, this is better. This is just because this is a baby face you can really believe in. Because Lesnar was cool, but Lesnar really wasn't a baby face that, you know, we believed in, because he was a heel most of his career, you know, and we know how he is personally and everything. But I mean, no, this is exciting. And like you said, the long-term booking by Triple H, I think, makes it better.
Thank you, you know, Paul. Also, like Tom Leibel, he's been back. Hey, it's been a while. We hope you're doing fine, Tom. All greetings to every single one of the fans that have been with us for all this time. Thank you for all the confidence, and we're back. And he said, should have canceled SmackDown and did the NXT pay-per-view tonight. We're going to talk about a little bit also of what is going to be NXT. You know,
I would have watched Stand and Deliver. Yeah, I would have watched it over SmackDown. If they would have just did like 20 minutes.
Day, remember? You know,
if they would have just did 20 minutes of the Bloodline promos and cut out everything else, I would have been fine with that.
Yeah, like, no, like you said, like this is like the one thing that I do like about the whole rivalry is like, you know, you put another company, you create another company, and you couldn't even get over. That's the whole line for me that like really got me from Roman. But the fact that like they never touch each other, meaning they never hit at each other, they just was a good stare down. That's how you keep a good feud. Do I think Cody Rhodes has what it takes to beat Roman? I think he is the right person. Yeah, we've been saying this for a long time. This is what, like you said, like he came back to do this. So, you know, that was like, this is good. SmackDown also had like this, like the Andre the Giant Battle Royal. Who gives a damn? You know, all these guys just like they didn't have a spot in the main show. The one thing, Paul, is like, let's talk about Bray Wyatt and Bobby Lashley. That was supposed to be a big match. That was supposed to be one of like the main like events of the show. It didn't happen because of the situation with Wyatt. Like you know more. So I don't know. Like the him is not there.
I just want to say one thing. We talk about the Battle Royal is things of note that I made. Baron Corbin was the first person eliminated.
Yes.
So you see what they think of Baron Corbin. So finally, yes. Triple H is like, dude, you're the shits. Goodbye. And bye-bye. The last 3 were LA Knight, Bronson Reed, and then the winner, Bobby Lashley. So to me, look at those. Even though this is a bullshit gimmick battle royal, doesn't matter. at least those last three were three guys that we want to see pushed that are legit.
Right there.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
right there.
that's what we want to see.
Lastly, Madcap Moss, I don't know. You like Madcap Moss? To me,
No,
like,
no. I mean, I think if he had a better gimmick and was more serious, and okay, we know he's dating Emma, but she doesn't need to come out with him every match and all that stuff. It's not his manager.
I love you. Yeah.
No, we don't
get that.
You don't need it unless it's going to be a storyline purpose. You don't need to see it out there. But like I said, those final three in it, Bronson Reed, LA Knight, and Lashley. I mean, those are the ones that you really got to push these guys. LA Knight is over. People clearly see that. But what's Tom saying here?
The mic,
they disgraced the Andre the Giant Battle Royal. Yeah, but putting it on SmackDown. I mean, it's a dumb thing anyway. It's just trying to get people into a battle royal by putting a famous name on it.
They never gave him credibility.
One thing I don't know if you picked up. Did you hear Michael Cole? The first winner of this was Cesaro.
Yeah.
So that was cool. That was cool. They mentioned him.
What have we said before? It's like acknowledge your past, and there's no like he's not there or Claudio Castagnoli. Yeah, it's Cesaro. That's fine. Do it. And I mean, that's when it was interesting to see what was going to happen, because that was part of like the pre-show. But now after that, the big show and all of that, the winners.
But I mean, with this,
terrible.
I thought this was perfect for Damian Priest. He was kind of the odd man out in the whole thing. Tom says Lashley winning was so predictable, and it was, because they bring them all out like cattle, and then Lashley's the only one that gets an entrance. Like, I wonder who's gonna win this thing. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I would have thought that you would have had somebody else win this thing, and Lashley, since that whole Bray Wyatt feud kind of imploded, Lashley should have somehow been involved in the Omos match. He should have either screwed Omos out of the match because he's pissed at MVP, or screwed Lesnar out of the match because Lesnar kicked him in the balls at the Royal Rumble or whatever.
The thing, Paul, is like, I guess they already had a plan set up and they never could redo the plan. I guess, because I guess they waited for Wyatt till the last minute.
Yeah.
And then it's like, so Bray, we don't really have anybody. Let's have Lashley win something. It's just, here's like your consolation prize.
Yeah, and Bray wanted to work with he wanted to work with Lesnar.
Yeah.
And then Lesnar was probably like, I ain't working with this guy. He fucking lights people on fire or himself on fire and, black ooze and all this bullshit. He's like, no, I ain't doing this. And then they kind of had to think of stuff. And I don't know if Bray got upset because somebody burst his bubble, but he said, can I go home? So they said, yeah, go home, take some time off,
They say
whatever.
Something physical too, Paul.
But they said he was supposed to be at a Madison Square Garden show, and he no-showed that. And when you no-show to Garden, that's not just like no-show in a house show in Allentown. No, you no-showed Madison Square Garden. You know what I'm saying? So this is a little bit different.
That's one of like the bigger shows, and especially really feature like WrestleMania season. So unfortunately, if you don't do that, things like that are going to happen. So to me, Paul, they were never able to at least
another rumor I heard too is because they weren't really, when they saw that the Mountain Dew match was the complete shits and nobody cared, they wanted to go, hey, let's kind of somehow squash this, beat this up, and can you come back as the Fiend? Because at least the Fiend was over and he moved a lot of merch and this and that, and Bray didn't want to do it. And I don't know if that kind of started the whole creative differences. And then, like you said, if he's injured again, which I don't know how he's injured, he never wrestles. So
yeah,
I don't know. I mean, to me, is the quality, even if you like Bray Wyatt as a wrestler, his gimmick, whatever, is the quality of the show going to go down with him not on the card?
No. And, like, for example, you can be honest, guys. And, I want your comments, please. More Tom Libels. We need them. Subscribe to all the social media waves right there. The situation is like Bray Wyatt had a big opportunity, but like they never knew what to do with the guy. At least for me, like the plans kept changing. Alexa Bliss and Cole Howdy, too many episodes without him wrestling. Too many shows. The storyline never really got to a climax, and nobody cared.
And
they want to be like the Undertaker. They can never replicate that.
But I wouldn't be so much to put the blame on like a Triple H and them and they don't know what to do with him. From the reports we hear, it sounds like Bray doesn't know what to do with himself.
That's
awesome. He wants to make a horror movie, and it's like, dude, this is pro wrestling.
Okay? That's exactly. That's the main reason what you're mentioning right there. Is like, we want to see you wrestle, not like being Uncle Howdy, not being, Firefly, all of Funhouse, all of that. And when you wrestle, it's just these gimmicky matches. No, thank you. We don't really care because we've seen it with The Undertaker. You need to be way different. He got an opportunity, I don't think is panning out the way he wanted to. I don't need like he deserves any like even the match at WrestleMania. And Brock Lesnar knows about it. You know this, Paul.
Yeah.
Brock Lesnar most likely will work with anybody. So if he doesn't want to work with you, there's really a problem right there. So for everybody that is new, that is watching us, welcome. We're the original Road Break, Jean Paul, myself, Juanzo, and WrestleMania season. And Paul, tell me a little bit about Charlotte and Rhea Ripley. That's going to be one of like the best matches on the first night. Remember what we saw in 2020 when the pandemic and the match for the NXT Championship. This is what I like about the continuity. You can grab this feud from the past and be like, hey, you beat me that time. But now we're going to go, we're going to actually see what it is, what that match should have been. Because remember the pandemic, they had to have it in the Performance Center, all of that. Now we're going to see the real Rhea against Charlotte.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of those things where, you can make a WCW comparison, how it's like, okay, we have Ric Flair. How do we get Lex Luger over? Feud him with Flair. How do we get Sting over? Feud him with Flair. And it's the same thing here with Charlotte. She's so over. She's the bar. She's the standard bearer.
Yes.
What's the top of the division? Charlotte. So, and Rhea, she is, every time she's with Charlotte, it's gold. The promos are good, mostly on Rhea's end. Charlotte's not the best promo, but, the promos are always good. The interactions when they had the big brawl, I think, what was that, last week or 2 weeks ago? That was really good. And, I mean, this is good. And if the Bloodline feud wasn't so hot, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens and all that, they're main eventing night one, I would have put this main event night one, but the Bloodline's so hot, you got to have that be.
Oh yeah, no, like absolutely. Like, and of course, Polder's going to say, oh yeah, the women have to main event one of the two nights. We got to like be fair to them. I don't care what.
No, you got to go with a hotter story.
Yeah,
you got to go with a hotter story.
Here, Paul, like who's like the, like who do you see the baby face here? Is it Rhea or is it Charlotte? And somebody here, Tom says, if Rhea doesn't win, we riot.
Yeah, like so, one night ECW one night stand. Or if Cena wins, we riot. But no, I mean, I think this is almost a transition. Charlotte, they kind of had her. She had to be the baby face. Because Rhea was a heel, she was in the heel group with all heels.
Yeah.
So she had to be, but I think after WrestleMania, I think the Judgment Day is going to be done, or at least kind of splitting up, I would say. And I think you can turn Rhea babyface, and Charlotte can go back to heel. She lost her championship. Maybe she gets pissed. Rhea wins it, and that's a good enough reason to just turn her babyface, But no, I think that's kind of what they're going to do here because, the crowd's really behind her, and they love to boo Charlotte, not because she's bad or anything, but because she's just a natural heel.
Yeah. No, like you said, she plays always. Her heel character overpowers like the babyface. She's never been. It's like the dad. It's like Ric Flair. When she play babyface, he doesn't even know how to do it. Like even Charlotte does the same thing. This is gonna be a really good match. Rhea needs to win it, like you said. Like, do I think the Judgment Day needs to continue? I don't know, because it's not really a group that like it does much of a difference. I mean, the good thing is like each guy can have a really good match, but that's because the good storytelling that they're doing. But the group itself being over, the only one that is suffering from that is Priest, because also I don't have a storyline, but everybody else does. So one of them has to suffer the consequences. But Paul, we will be tomorrow. That will be the appetizer before our main event of WrestleMania Night 1. Stand and deliver. Good matches right here, Paul. Carmelo Hayes going against Bron Breakker, your guy. The North American Championship having Ilya Dragunov there, McDonough, or Wesley. All of it is going to be a really good pay-per-view, and also like the ladder match with the women to determine the new champion, or Roxanne Perez defending that championship rather.
Yeah, we got a lot to cover and everything. This show, like you said, it's a little, the pre-show, the little appetizer before WrestleMania Night 1. So lots of good stuff. You want to hear everything that happens. Hear our thoughts on all the matches. Tune in for that. We're going to have that. We got a lot of previous predictions, so I won't do any for NXT, but I'm looking forward to it. Bron Breakker, I think, this is the only one I'll give a prediction. Maybe he doesn't retain. And maybe we see him on a Monday Night Raw coming up pretty soon. Yes, so we got to wait and see. But, I'm excited.
And the only thing that I want to talk about, on NXT, Paul, is because you and me used to cover that so much. We covered like for almost 2 years. And one of the last episodes we did was the last time that Johnny Gargano was on NXT. And who was the one that like took out Johnny Gargano? It was Grayson Waller. And I'm glad that like they got that storyline back and they made it into like a main story like for their show. So that's really cool.
I think that's cool too.
And get like Grayson Waller over. So that is gonna be, I think that's gonna be a pretty good show for what they have. Well, the LWO is back thanks to Rey Mysterio. This was cool. Get all the guys, the respect Santos Escobar is given. And I mean, do we wanted to see this version of the LWO? I don't know, but at least they brought it back. Rey Mysterio is going to be in the Hall of Fame. This was cool enough, at least.
Yeah, I mean, I love all this stuff with Rey Mysterio. I'm glad he's going in the Hall of Fame. I don't know what's going on right now. Maybe Dominic's already beating him up. We're recording right now, so we'll have to check it out after. But I mean, this is good, and it's cool for now people who want to buy the LWO shirt. Now they can probably go to WWE.com and just buy it.
It's probably right now, and they probably had the Hall of Fame edition. But see, Tom Libel says, what if Braun retains and Carmelo comes to Raw and joins the hair business along with the Street Profits? That will be a great faction to make. You have all these guys.
I wouldn't mind turning the Street Profits heel, because if, we're going to go into it, Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, I think, should win it, because that's the story. It's WrestleMania, feel good. You're going to need a bunch of heel teams to go after them. I think the Viking Raiders are a heel team. You turn the Street Profits heel. This is good. Now you got some heel teams to kind of go after these guys. And obviously the Usos are going to want maybe a rematch or something like that. You build that back up. But, I mean, I wouldn't be, against that idea either, as long as when somebody loses and you're calling them up, you have a plan for him. Not like a Gable Stevenson where here he is and then never see him.
So can you actually have a match?
I mean, that was the biggest flop, the biggest bullshit. But that was, I think, a Vince McMahon move, I believe. I don't think that was
you
a
can
Triple
tell,
H
Paul,
thing,
that was the transition, right? Like the transition, Vince, and then Triple H like, man, we don't really have anything for you, so get ready. You won your Olympic gold medal and everything. And I see like, shush. Or so, that's the version. Thank you, Mr. Libel. And I mean, I would like that, especially because you have Montez Ford that like at some point he's going to have to break up from Angelo Dawkins. You have like Montez Ford, and the best way is for him to turn heel and then start maybe like something, because everybody's just promoting Montez Ford. Everybody's
but the only thing with that is, I don't care. So you break him off. Is he gonna beat Gunther? No. Is he gonna beat Austin Theory? No. Is he gonna beat Cody? No. So why break him off in a single? You need tag teams. This company has no fucking tag teams. They have none.
That's true. Yes.
So no, you need to form more tag teams, not be breaking them up. So I mean, turn them heel, great. And I'm not saying in 2 years from now don't break them up, but you can't do it come Monday Night Raw. They need to stay together at least for a while.
I just feel because a lot of the fate is in Montez Ford. Angelo doesn't even matter for anybody. So at some point that needs to happen. But like you said, this will be good, and also be a super group. The Hurt Business, like we all didn't like what happened, and we knew that like they could have got a year of good storytelling, but they didn't. That didn't happen. So tell me a little bit about let's talk about the father and son. This is really good. Is this Rey Mysterio retirement match?
No, Rey said he's wrestling till 50. He came out and he said, the Hall of Fame is something that it's an honor, but he always thinks you give that to somebody who, they just announced their retirement or they're about to go into it. And he said that ain't me. He said, I have a number in mind, and as long as I stay healthy and everything legit, that number is 50 years old. When he hits 50, that's going to be the end of it. So I don't know how old he is right now. I would assume in his mid 40s, maybe 43, 44, 45, somewhere around there. I think I maybe a little older, but I don't think it's like 2 years. I think he has a couple of years yet, but I mean, no, I don't think it's going to be the retirement. And that's why this one's interesting. Like I said, when we go through the full predictions, I'll get my winner. But I mean, this really picked up, man. When they had last week, when he tells Aaliyah, shut up. When he's like, you're bullshit, shut up. And then he goes to the mom. He's like, you're a deadbeat mom too. And he's like, yells at her. And then Ray clocks him, that's my wife, blah, blah, blah. That's your mother. Show her some respect and this and that. But I mean, this is good. Huge pop from the crowd. They're into this. I mean, again, that's what I said. It's not just the bloodline. There's lots of other matches where people are really getting hyped up, and excited for
And the worst,
WrestleMania.
like,
So this is
they're
good.
invested. They got us invested,
Yes.
Paul. And see, like you said, this took forever. This is kind of like, remember Undertaker and Kane, because it's a family affair. Remember, I will not fight my own flesh and blood. That was the whole thing. And Kane kept going after him. Same thing. And they did it even, with the YouTube videos. They did it with like those semi-promos, TikToks, all of that. Annoying to the point that finally, you want this? Here you go. Maybe like you said this years ago, and they said, hey, let's fight for the mask. And then I give you the mask, and then you continue the legacy. But maybe if he's just going to go for 50,
Yeah, no.
here at least
and not,
it's going to be a really great match. And you need Dominic. I don't know if you've seen this, but like there's Dominic comes out in the lowrider like Eddie. It's like he needs to do it like that, and that would be the biggest.
that would be
insult,
legit.
and the rivalry even can continue. But this is going to be just like you said, long term.
Yeah, the whole giving him the mask thing, that I think would only work if, at the time they were both kind of baby faces. So you thought, okay, that would only really work. Like, but no, not as a heel. This is almost like a grudge match. Like, I just want to kick your ass so you show respect to the family. But no, I mean, I love that. I don't know if that's confirmed or that was just an idea you had or saw somewhere, but I would love if he came out in the low rider. That would just dig that knife into Ray's
again,
back. So
that's how you poke that bear. Remember, I wish Eddie was my dad. So they all have to go with, I mean, how much I get tired of the same freaking, Eddie this, Eddie that. But at least in this situation, it works. So, Drew McIntyre and Sheamus, they went against Da Vinci and also the other member of Imperium. This was good. This match is going to be probably like one of the best matches of both nights of WrestleMania. Like Drew McIntyre and Sheamus going against Gunther, or like the triple threat. Just because remember how good the match that they had at like Clash at the Castle. And now I'm putting Drew there. This, I wouldn't be surprised if Gunther retains, but the fact that all three guys are making that title look so prestigious and relevant. I love this.
No, I mean, I think he needs to retain. You just really need to just keep building. Some people said they want to see Gunther have a IC title run like Roman Reigns had with the Universal and WWE thing. Have him hold it for over a year for, I think he won it in June, they said. Have him at least hold it till SummerSlam. That's over a year.
Yeah.
But, this is great. And I would have almost rather have it just been Drew. Sheamus had the big match. He had his big moment. Does Sheamus need another big moment? You know what I mean? Like, dude, you already had it. You're not going to win it. Get out of here. I mean, and if they put it on Sheamus, that would be the biggest flop. But no, this match right here, who did you think was going to win? The two guys who are going to have a match at WrestleMania, or the two
Well,
stooges
exactly. Like, this whole show is just to get you ready for. Absolutely, Paul. You're absolutely right. Here, though, the biggest thing is just like you said. I love it. He will have a really nice run. And this is the first WrestleMania in such a long time, Paul, that like the IC belt and the United States Championship are featured as main titles. Big highlight, big matches, big important matches, big names involved in those title matches. So this is just good. Remember last year we got Big E against Apollo like 2 years ago. That was like a match. I'm like, so imagine, compare that to this. There you go. That's a big improvement. So at least Triple H is like trying to make those titles look better. So we just mentioned the United States Championship. This is the match that is going to open WrestleMania 91. John Cena, Austin Theory. The rivalry, the only thing is like it started out really good, but the fact that there was no even a lot of mention on the last Raw, I don't know. That was the only thing for me, but like despite of that, at least it's going to be a good match.
Yeah, and the one thing is this the first match, or is this a one-off and that's it, one and done? You know what I mean? Are they going to build this something? Maybe John Cena said, yeah, I really see a lot of me in this kid. I think he can be one of those guys you can really build the whole company around. So I want to work with this guy a couple matches. I'll work with him here. Maybe I'll wrestle him on a Raw or something. And then again at SummerSlam or something like that. But no, I think this is a good feud. And I think, starting WrestleMania with John Cena, how the hell do you do it any better?
Yeah, oh yeah. And see, like Tom says, this is my daughter's favorite match. She's a huge fan of Austin Theory, and we know why right there. Preteen crash. LOL.
Yep.
So here's how like, I mean, Austin Theory, he's going through a whole like evolution in WWE. Remember the days when he was part of like Andrade, Selena, and all of that. NXT days, comes back to NXT for a scandal. Everybody forgets that, which is good because the guy had a lot of talent and everything. And now, remember, like, wins the Money in the Bank, kind of like a joke, loses that, but now serious, goes against John Cena. He's able to cut promos, doesn't look like a fool. I like this. And, the feud with Rollins is also great. I think that, like, he has the potential in maybe a few years to be that main event guy. But this is going to be the one match that is going to start helping him out for everybody that is not a believer to believe in Austin Theory.
I agree 100%.
And, John Cena at least is able to put all the other guys over.
Yeah.
I mean, that's also like what, like, he's able to say that also, Paul. So, like, this is going to be a good match. Let's talk about the last, stare down. All roads lead to Roman. There you go. This was cool. And again, simple and to the point. Don't you think? No, a lot of like the long speech.
No, this was good. Yeah, I mean, and like you said, we don't gotta go back to a picture wise. We can stay here on Cody and Roman, but the Usos and Kevin Owens and them, they started the show with the bloodline thing, where Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, they said how the Usos were so great, everybody loved them, they respected them. Now look at them, and they fired back a lot about, well, we're family, we stick together. Sami said family means more than blood, family's loyalty. And I mean, great. I'm sure it's on YouTube right now. Go check it out. I ain't doing it justice. Fantastic promo to start the show with them. And then we get this to end the show. Cody comes out. He cuts a fantastic promo. I love how the crowd, when he goes, so what do you want to talk about? The crowd laughs like, they get into it. They love it. And he said, you guys welcome me back with open arms. And, all my fans that traveled here, means like the AEW fans that followed him over. And he said, you welcome them too. And, he couldn't be happier. Ultimate babyface. The people love him. And he pretty much cuts the promo. Roman's music hits. Roman comes out, the long drawn out entrance. He says, acknowledge me to the crowd. And then he's like, you know what? No, no. And he's like looking at Paul. He's like, they shouldn't be the one to acknowledge me. It should be you. And then he looks at Cody, acknowledge me. And that's it. They don't like it was a great, like you said,
so much better.
It wasn't anything that was, because what else do they need to say? Roman already said your daddy loved me more. He thought I was the best and he thought you were bullshit. And all this stuff, they pushed every single button they can push. You want to see them fight. So this didn't need to go long. This was great way to end SmackDown. And I'm excited for man, I wish it was Sunday 11:45 right now so we could be seeing this match.
Absolutely. I agree with you. I agree. And that's to me, the buildup of all of this is so much better than the one last year with Lesnar. Maybe not as good as like the triple threat with Bryan and Edge. Because there was other elements, but like for a singles match, this was just really, really good.
And I mean, that's the great thing about wrestling. Well, great and maybe not great, but like everybody has, what they like and their opinions and stuff. But for me, I can't think of a last time a WrestleMania main event was this exciting. Obviously, think back, but I mean, in the past 5, years or so, where has there been one? Not really, man.
Yeah,
people are behind Cody.
Yeah,
and
Roman is Cody, remember.
And Roman is the best. Roman is the best in the business right now. There's John Moxley, Kenny Omega, CM Punk, all them guys. No, none of them. Nobody in New Japan. Nobody in Impact. Nobody in Ring of Honor. Nobody
MJF.
At your local. Nobody at MJF. Nobody at your local indie show. Nobody can touch Roman Reigns. He's that good.
No, Cody also says like he's done the job. He's so believable. Roman is the guy that everybody wants to beat, and that's the thing. And see, like you said, he doesn't even have to go in a long speech. Simply acknowledge me. 2 years as champion. What else do you want? I beat absolutely everybody that there is to beat. So this is gonna be like you said. I'm excited for this. It's gonna be a great match. If Cody wins, the whole place is gonna go nuts. I think the whole wide world is gonna go nuts just because finally a new champion. And Roman has got a great run, his best run, but so far he established himself, like you said, the wrestling god, god mode. Hey, what else? The guy is freaking 99 in a game that we're gonna talk about in just a little bit. 99. Not even like the whole, like, I mean, not 100, but closer to what, one digit. So there you go, and let's hope. But like, Paul, like, if I know it's too much to ask you, but who would you put as like if Cody wins? What would be the first rivalry then?
I mean, that's almost tough to say. I think because if you kind of go back to what you saw at the Royal Rumble, him and Gunter were the last two in there, and you think, man, that would be a hot rivalry. But I mean, maybe you do a Warrior Hogan thing, not where both belts are on the line, but the two champions are going after each other.
That would be cool, though.
But I mean, so hopefully they don't take the title off Gunther and then he goes after Cody. But I mean, that would be a natural one. I mean, you got to see if there's going to be a Monday Night Raw debut, call up, anything like that. I mean, it's one of those things where a safe bet, which we've seen it 100 times, but the match will be good. I mean, there's always Seth Rollins. I mean, there's lots of people. I mean, that's the one thing that's exciting because you don't know who it's going to be. But
there's two names that like comes out that like can be returns, and they were a tag team. The RK Bros might be returning at some point. Not as a tag team, but individuals. Matt Riddle, also like Randy Orton. So there you go, one of those two. Maybe a heel Matt Riddle will be good. Tom says Usos will lose, Roman wins, and the demise of the Bloodline starts. I don't think he will keep the title because that will kill Cody.
No, that's Lex Luger.
There's no
that's
way
Lex
to go back
Luger.
from that.
That's Lex Luger, Yokozuna. I mean, people will be like, yeah, he'll get him next time, but it won't feel as legit. It'll be like,
yeah, I mean, and like the whole Bloodline has its run, it's been good, but what else are you gonna do? And I've heard that like if Roman loses the belt, he's gonna have a long break, at least till SummerSlam. He's gonna get his time, and it's good because he needs to go away. That way Cody can shine. We'll see. I mean, what happens? We'll see what they do. But at least it's very interesting, like you said, like the feeling of like we want to see the main event, because years ago we didn't care for the main event. There were other matches. This WrestleMania has a lot of things. Maybe the only piece of criticism, like you said, I feel that 9-1 is not as stacked up. It's not as like great as like 9-2. 9-2, you have the super main matches. You have the Hell in a Cell. You have the triple threat for the IC belt. You have Bianca and Asuka. You have this match. So like 9-1 is like, well, we have like the Damage Control against, Becky Lynch and Lita and Trish. Like, okay. So it's not toe-to-toe, but hey, I mean, it's just maybe like a little thing that I can say on that.
I mean, to be honest, for me, I think both nights are pretty even, but you got to give night 2 the edge just because it's main event. But night 1, you got the tag match, Charlotte and Rhea, Seth Rollins and Logan Paul. I mean, Logan Paul wrestles better than 90% of AEW's roster, and he had 3 matches. So, and Rollins is one of the greatest. So, no, I mean, I think this is going to be, like I said, in the top of the program, one of the best WrestleManias we've seen in a long while.
In a long time.
But we are going to go through the list here, and there are some stinkers. There are some ones that aren't too good, and like we said, so this is the predictions. We kind of danced around a little bit. Here's the official. Here's who Juan says is going to win. Here's who I say is going to win. So we got match 1: Austin Theory, John Cena. Libel already said his prediction, and man, I think you kind of gotta go that direction where Austin Theory wins, because they flopped it in the beginning where he was losing, looked like a clown. Then he's finally on track and he wins it. The only way I would say he don't win it, if John Cena says we're going to do something and we're going to build it to SummerSlam and I'm going to put him over there. Like Cena comes back, hey, this is my last run. I'll hold the U.S. belt till then, and you do something. But, I mean, I don't know if that really helps him. But that's the only way I could see John Cena winning, is if they're going to do a program, because Cena's not going to lose like 3 times in a row. That would be like this. Not that it would hurt his popularity, but does anybody want to see Cena get beat 3 times in a row? People like him now. It's not like 2008 when they hated him. People like him now. So, but with all that said, I think Austin Theory is going to get the win. I ain't going to try to fantasy book long-term, not whatever. I think right here, right now, you got to do Austin Theory.
Austin Theory, I gotta go with you, Austin Theory, just because again, he's the guy that needs to go over. John Cena is just there for the Mania match. It's just to hey, I'm gonna help the show. I'm gonna hype everybody. I'm gonna help everybody that needs to be put over. That's the new mission. John Cena is old school, understands what he needs to do, his role right now. Austin Theory, the United States Championship is actually the main title right now in Monday Night Raw. So there you go. Like, is the fact that John Cena is fighting for it is more than enough that he can do. He doesn't have to be the champion anymore. We don't have to see the open challenge every single Monday Night Raw. No, not anymore. That was part of like 2015. That's it. Give me just Austin Theory, even like retain with a roll up, hangs up on the ropes. That's all it is. Austin Theory, Paul.
Yeah, something like you said, he could even cheat to win, grab the ropes, grab the tights, pulls brass knuckles out of his trunk, do something where Cena says, no, that was bullshit, give me another match. If you want to do a long-term, something like that. But no, like you said, Austin Theory's got to get the win. So then we got match number 2, Seth freaking Rollins, the Joker. He's going against Logan Paul, the real Joker, but no, I mean, this is one, like I just said, this is going to be good. If you hate Logan Paul as a person, I tend to agree with you. But you can't say when the bell rings, this guy don't have charisma, athleticism, and just talent. Now, I don't think he's going to be somebody that's going to say, hey, put me on Monday Night Raw, every week, every month. I want to be full time. No, he's going to be kind of an attraction. So would you really have him beat Rollins, who's going to be there all the time, who would be a good heel to go against, Cody Rhodes, to be one of his challengers at a pay-per-view or something for the belt? Because they had matches for nothing. I shouldn't say for nothing, but no title, but now they could have it for the undisputed WWE Championship. So I think Seth Rollins wins here, but this could be one of the sleeper best matches of the night.
Yeah, it could be. Remember the big thing that Ricochet and Logan Paul had? And Tommy said something very important. He says he has Rollins, but it's also a rumor that also I heard that like Logan Paul, his contract of WWE is coming up. So he's like, I do WrestleMania and that's it. So, I mean, if for that reason, actually, they might give them the win. Hey, Rollins doesn't get too much, he's not going to damage the character.
Explain that reasoning, though. Hey, we're going to have you beat one of our top guys, and then you're going to leave us forever? That don't make sense to me.
I mean, if the match is that good, then the character wouldn't be hurt. You're not going to hurt Seth Rollins as match unless you have a big program for him coming up. And it's like, Logan Paul has he really won anything? He was in the Royal Rumble. No, it's more like an attraction. He win a crown jewel. No, he got another good match.
And to me, that makes sense because he's not really a wrestler. You know what I mean? Like Bad Bunny didn't win the singles match. Bad Bunny came in, but he won a tag match. Because he's not a wrestler. He's not going to come in and just beat up The Miz or beat up John Morrison. But, regardless, I think this will be good. And if Logan Paul does leave, I mean, at least he gave us good matches, and I think this will be one of them.
Yeah, no, I mean like that. Like, at least I will go with Logan Paul just for Jean Paul. For one of the polls, I'll go for that. But like and Rollins, and let's remember this: Rollins has not won a match in WrestleMania since probably the time that like he beat Brock Lesnar for the Universal Championship in 2019. 2020 he lost to like Kevin Owens. 2021 was he even there? Lost to Cesaro. 2022 Cody. So or maybe if that could actually change. Hey, let's give him a win. We'll never know. But I'm gonna keep it for Logan Paul.
Yeah, and then match number 3, we have, I don't think anybody had this on their bingo card 2 months ago. Trish Stratus, Lita, and Becky Lynch going against Damage Control. So this one to me is kind of weird because you thought, okay, you give Becky and Lita, they have the little run with the tag belts, but they're going to drop them at Mania because Lita's not going to be here for long term, right? Well, apparently she's going to be here longer to WrestleMania because these belts aren't on the line. And this is a match, I think, hey, Trish Stratus is a star. She's been appearing on TV, kind of their helper, evening the odds. And Bayley, to me, is the biggest star in Damage Control. Io Sky, I like. Dakota Kai, not as much, but she's still all right. But Bayley's the star, and Bayley wouldn't have even had the match. So I think this was just to get them all on there, which I don't always agree with is the best thing. To me, this match could have been on the card with it being a title match. The fact that it's not a title match lessens it for me. I don't care, even though you're including 2 bigger stars in the match. 6-man
Hall of Famers.
Yeah, and 6-man matches are bad. You could have Ric Flair, Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart, Kurt Angle. You could have the fucking best of the best in a 6-man. I really won't care for it. It's just too many guys. So, no, I don't think this is going to be the best thing. This is a bathroom break, unfortunately. But I still like all 6 of these women. But my pick, I mean, you got to go with the baby faces. I mean, I don't know. Come on. It's WrestleMania. I think
See,
this.
you said
I think
baby
the safe.
faces, Paul. Mr. Libel says Damage Control will win because it's no title match. He does make sense on that, but you also are right because it's baby faces. This match was supposed to happen at Elimination Chamber. Something happened with travel things with because it was supposed to be in Canada, Trish, all of that. They needed a big pop. Oh, so well, we're just gonna rebook it. We're gonna make it a WrestleMania thing. But like you said, if it's not for the title, it really damages. I don't care. I don't really care because again, like you said, baby faces might win easily. They don't lose the titles. And Damage Control to me actually needs that win more because the group with all these losses, they lost them the tag team title. So what else can you lose then? And this rivalry between Bayley and Becky it tells me hey, we know what to do with some of our women, or we're gonna keep them in singles matches for Mania, but you two are just gonna keep feuding, until we pass Mania, and then one of you can go and start going for the belt. At least that's how I see it. But my pick is also Damage Control on this one.
Yeah, and I mean, I would almost like to see them win and maybe eventually get the belts because I think the main money you have here, if Trish and Lita are actually going to wrestle, give me Lita versus Rhea Ripley, or Lita versus Asuka, Lita versus Bianca Belair. Same thing with Trish. No offense, but I don't want to see Dakota Kai versus in Trish Stratus in the ring. I'm sorry. Put Trish in there with a star, with somebody who's the main event, top of the women's division, not somebody who's a flunky in a shitty, tag team hero. But no, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Damage Control get the win. I'm just going with the baby faces, but I mean, this is one, like I said, I really don't care for. And
this is one of the stinkers, unfortunately.
Yes, and then we have another stinker. So like you said, maybe this is, so the first two matches of night one, pretty good. Then we're kind of tapering off here a little bit with this next one, especially. This is the men's showcase match. This is you aren't good enough to have a storyline, but we're still going by that Vince McMahon narrative where everybody's got to be on Mania and get the payday. So this is Braun Strowman and Ricochet, the Street Profits, Angelo Dawkins, Montez Ford versus the Alpha Academy versus the Viking Raiders. We saw a four-way match of this tonight on Smackdown. Yeah, and I think it was the Ricochet Braun Strowman team.
Ricochet and Braun Strowman won that match.
Yeah, they were even though it was just one of each guy, but I think everybody was kind of out there because it was bullshit. Nobody cares. Just like this match.
Exactly. That's the word. Nobody cares.
If I had to pick who wins this, I don't even know. But I'm gonna say the team I think that gets the pin is the Street Profits. I think they're the ones that get pinned. And I really like that idea of being heel. So I'm going to go out on an extreme limb and say they get pinned. And this is kind of that turn of man, we're getting pissed off. We're losing all the time. We're not nothing, and this is the switch to flip for them to turn heel. But no, I mean, I guess I got to make a prediction because we're making predictions. Braun and Ricochet. I don't know. I don't care.
Braun and Ricochet. Mr. Libel says the Street Profits actually get the win. So he goes in a different one. And Montez Ford gets the pin, he says, Mr. Libel. Right there, we're going to show it for all of you guys that are watching the show one more time. Thank you for that. I will go ahead and actually will go with the ones that get the pin as the Alpha Academy. This is, again, like we said, filler. No reason to have a match like this. These guys is they could easily been in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. I don't care. This is just, again, these tag teams, the only one that probably makes sense is the Street Profits. I mean, the Alpha Academy, but...
And the Viking Raiders,
bringing all these guys that didn't do anything for the business or didn't do anything for bring Taki back, bring me Heavy Machinery, give Otis the old Otis that used to, we used to have fun, with that. Bring Taki, I'm good. They don't like to do that, so I just gonna go with you and I'm just gonna go with Ricochet and Braun Strowman, just because I mean those two other guys, these guys have a chance, to be a tag or challenge for a championship at some point. But other than that, I have no interest on this. This is, like you said, bathroom break. This is when I start uploading pictures and all of that.
Yeah, so then this match was one that we're actually getting interest into and see. So you had those two stinkers, and these next three, these are dynamite. These are the ones you want to see. Not AEW dynamite. No, but these are the ones you want to see. Rey Mysterio, Dominic Mysterio. We talked on this a little bit earlier in the broadcast, but this is one of them that is so great. And people it got hot right at the right time. It wasn't like the feud was hot 2 months ago and now it's cooling off. It is red hot right now. People want to see it. And I almost think you gotta, if this is something where this one's hard to book, because if Dom is the chicken shit heel, so is that really who you want to see win? And again, if he wins, is he going to challenge Austin Theory? What's going to come from this? So no, I think Rey Mysterio's got to win. You know, whatever, whether it's a 619 or I heard something funny online. It's like maybe he should bend him over his leg and spank him, and Dominic taps out from getting spanked in front of everybody by his dad. I mean, that would be hilarious.
Because the ass is that red that, like, he has to.
I don't know how you're going to do it, but man, I mean, the Hall of Fame ceremony, all this stuff, I almost think Ray's got to win.
Yeah, well, see, he goes, Tom goes, can make a prediction on this. LOL, Rey is being inducted right now. So, hey, congratulations to Rey Mysterio. Two things on this poll. Like, the one, Rey is being inducted right now. Rey has to win. It's just, because they can prolong the feud. Hey, my dad, you cheated. I didn't get the chance to beat you and all of that. I don't care. Well, they think can keep going and going and going. But how do you feel about people being inducted into the Hall of Fame while they're still active wrestlers, though? Should we wait till, they actually fully retire, or like?
Yeah, I mean, that's tough. I mean, I think a real Hall of Fame, I know, I don't know how it is in other sports, baseball, basketball, I don't know. I assume soccer has one, or they have some kind of, maybe something like that. But in football, it's usually you're retired for 5 years and then you're eligible. That's when your first year of eligibility. It's 4 or 5 years. I'm not saying it should be that long, but yeah, it should be something like that. But see, that's the thing that's different with wrestling. Unless you're 90 years old, and maybe in the case of Ric Flair, that won't count. But unless you're 90 years old, are you ever fully retired? You know what I mean? There's always one more match. There's always something like that.
Back.
So, I mean, the thing here with Rey Mysterio, I don't know. He might be getting jumped by Dominic right now. Maybe they
That's
did
what
this.
Tom just said. Look.
Yeah, maybe they just did this for storyline reasons. But no, I mean, I have no problem with it. I mean, it's WWE's Hall of Fame isn't like I shouldn't say it's not a real Hall of Fame, but you know what I mean. They pick and choose. They put freaking Donald Trump and Drew Carey and people like that. And so what the hell? You know what I'm saying? Come on.
At least the class of this year, now that you mentioned that, is not as bad. There's not a really stupid name. It's people.
No, and I love Timmy White. That to me is awesome. I want to see Earl Hebner in. I'm not saying do a referee or an official every year, but man, you really got to start giving these guys some credit. You know what I mean? So this was good.
I could not say it better than you, because Kyoto, Corderas, like you said, Timothy White, we all knew the names. That is something that we don't know now. They play a factor in matches.
Charles
and also
Robinson.
Timothy White, outside of that, the guy that knew Andre the Giant better than Andre knew himself.
Yeah, he was his handler, for the the end of his career or later half of his career.
They traveled together. Oh, boss. Yeah, boss. Right here's the booze, boss. Yeah, boss. All of that. So there you go. So I really like that. And there you go. I feel Rey Mysterio is gonna win.
Yes.
So Paul, the next match.
So the next match, Charlotte Flair, Rhea Ripley, SmackDown Women's Championship. Man, this one is gonna be great. Again, this could be a match of mania. This could be the best thing, because the match that they had a couple years ago was fantastic. No crowd. But no, this is, Charles Robinson is the best. Little Nate, little Ric Flair,
that Ric Flair, Charles Robinson is great. Yeah.
But no,
he got a haircut. He's not blonde anymore.
I saw he freaking shaved his head. He looks like,
he's
I don't
bald.
know. Yeah.
Yeah.
But this match here, this is Rhea Ripley's redemption. She lost. Charlotte beat her when she challenged her for the NXT belt. Like she said, I challenged you. You won the Royal Rumble and I called you out and I lost. Now I won the Royal Rumble and she challenged her. I mean, this is great. The story's coming full circle. Rhea Ripley.
Oh yeah, I go with you. Easy booking. We covered this. This is our 4th WrestleMania that we're gonna be covering, so we feel really excited. Yeah, Rhea. Yeah, just because the girl did all the Royal Rumble win, and she's doing a great job. I wouldn't say just because in ring work, but the fact that she's immersed with Dominic, Mommy, and all of that stuff is good. It's good enough. Just give Rhea the chance. This Rhea's champion is going to be so much better than the one that was when she was Raw Women's Champion. There's more personality. There's more character to it. There's more.
And also, who's in charge? And who's in charge of the booking? It's not
Triple
Vince
H.
McMahon anymore. It's Triple H. So everything has a different
Exactly.
feel. People, the champions, I think, feel more legit. And, speaking of champions and feeling more legit, main event, night one. Are you feeling Usi? It's ready for
Whee!
WrestleZania, KO Mania. Here it is, baby. The Usos, the undisputed WWE Tag Team Champions, going against Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Like I said, go listen to their promo on YouTube, or if you heard it already, you know how great it was. Man, this is good. I got goosebumps a little bit here. And I mean, this is going to be a fantastic match. Definitely deserving of a main event of WrestleMania. And, night one, obviously, but still a main event of a WrestleMania night. But this is fantastic. I mean, this is one where, you can kind of call it either way. Some people say, oh, well, Roman's going to win. Or, but maybe the Usos win and Roman doesn't. You do something. But this is great. And for my prediction, though, I'm going old school to WrestleMania. I feel like I'm picking majority baby faces, but that's just how I'm feeling right now. Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn. Imagine that pop. Fucking pop-up power bomb, haluva kick, blue thunder bomb, whatever he hits, man. 1, 2, 3. They'll be throwing the babies in the air. The place will explode. Yes. I mean, it will be fantastic. And what a way to close the night, man. That would be awesome. So that's my prediction.
It will be. And yeah, I agree with you. Like, Tom, you're not giving us your your pick, but I'm gonna go with the same as as you, Paul, because it's like, and if you think about it, it's brothers against brothers. I mean, yes. Brothers in blood in Jimmy and Jay, but brothers in this wrestling journey, wrestling road that Sammy and also Kevin had. The pop when Cody put them together. It's all baby faces right there, and it's all of them are together in one thing to take the bloodline down. You do this as a in your tag team thing, and I take care of Roman. That's pretty much what Cody's telling you. And also, you knew how popular Sami Zayn was. If Cody would not have been there, probably Sami Zayn would have been the main event of WrestleMania, just because of the pop and everything. And this is the consolation prize for Zayn and to Kevin Owens, because Kevin Owens is like, what are you going to do with the guy? He has good feuds with Roman, but you never wanted to put the title on him. For that reason,
and
there you go. This is your consolation prize. Defeat the Usos.
And they're going to beat the longest reigning tag team champions in WWE history. Not just, the longest reigning of these new belts we made yesterday. No, in over 600 days they've held these belts, longer than Demolition, longer than the New Day, and this will be great. And this will be great, and it'll be a great way to kind of reset this really struggling tag division, because they're two guys who can work with anybody. They'll have a good match with Viking Raiders, Street Profits, Alpha Academy, the Usos again, a rematch. Hopefully you come up with some other tag teams, this and that, but that's WrestleMania night one. And like I said, besides those two matches, the women's 6-man and the men's showcase, I think night one is going to be great. And night two is definitely not going to be no slouch either. Juan already made it clear. It's his favorite night, and we're starting off, at least with this list, with probably his favorite match. He's already said it, so we're going to go with it. Gunther, the champion, versus Sheamus and Drew McIntyre. Man, this is going to be good. I usually like one-on-ones more than triple threats, unless the guys really, really know how to work a triple threat, where you don't got one guy standing there, doing nothing or laying on the floor for 10 minutes. If all three guys are constantly involved, unless they're selling something, not for a ridiculous amount of time, but selling it, legit, then it's going to be good. But if not, they can be a little ticky-tacky, a little bit, But I got to go with Gunther, with Walter, the boy. I think, man, he's going to win this thing. He's got nobody besides maybe like a Roman, a Cody, whatever. I don't think nobody's better than him right now. But that's my pick. But I think this is going to be good. But, it's one of those things where maybe then does Drew and Sheamus go back in a tag division or something? But, hey, that's their problem. It's not Gunther's, because he's going to be the champion.
Oh, no, yeah. To me, this is going to be the match of night two. Outside the main event. The main event has its own ingredients. But match work, in ring, the intensity, it's going to be the drama that you have in a triple threat match when you have three guys that are absolute great singles competitors. That's to me Gunter, Drew McIntyre. The fact that you got to take away Drew from the main event of WrestleMania. It's like, hey, Drew, we're going to give you a match that you can actually showcase your quality. Like you said, Sheamus, the inclusion is right there. We don't really have anything for you. But because of everything that you did at Clash of the Castle, we're going to give you another chance here. There you go. Let's do this. Gunter is just like you, like he's in ring work, the transformation. Remember, he was a lot heavier when he was on NXT UK. You could see the God, it was Gutter. It was not Gunter, it was Gutter. But like that's what happened. But now, completely transformed, nutrition and everything. This guy deserves to remain champion. I will go with Gunter.
Yeah, and I agree. Now here we go, match number 2. This is one where I don't know. I want to be excited because I like both of these guys and I like the gimmick for the most part. And, speaking of gimmicks, Finn Balor's bringing back an old one of his. We're going to see Edge versus the Demon, Hell in a Cell. But, man, and maybe I'm saying it the wrong way, but I don't know how to say it. But does anybody really care about Edge or Finn Balor? Edge is kind of like, you like him for the rated R superstar, I cash in on John. You like him for that. But do you really care about this feud with him and Judgment Day? I mean, the Judgment Day feud is Rhea Ripley and Charlotte and Dominic Mysterio and his dad. Like, I don't know if anybody is really invested in this part of it. Now, I think this will be good. And I hope that it kind of steals the show in the sense that people were writing it off. And then when they see it, they go, man, that was really awesome. The Demon, I like. That'll be cool to bring that back. It's appropriate for Hell in a Cell. But, I mean, does the Demon lose? I mean, because you would think Edge has to win here. But I don't know. This is a hard one to call. I gotta go with Edge.
Give me your winner though.
I gotta go with Edge just because I mean it's just if Edge loses, then it's like, what does he do? Is he done then?
I mean, that could be a possibility. I'm gonna go the other way around. I'm gonna go with Finn Balor because you said the Demon never loses. So there you go. And for you to bring the Demon to this Hell in a Cell, remember the original plan was to have this at the Royal Rumble. Why didn't it happen? Because Edge was filming like a movie or a show that he has outside of his WWE duties. So now let's have it at Mania. The one thing, like you said, unfortunately for the Judgment Day, unfortunately for Finn Balor, he is like the weakest link because even Priest has like more of a character. So that's the one thing. So I will go with Finn Balor though, just because the Demon, you just bringing the character to lose. No, and Edge. The only cool thing I've heard, not confirmed, Christian actually asked permission to AEW to appear in a Broad reunion. The Brood reunion. They're gonna bring Gangrel, they're gonna bring Edge and Christian for a 2023 reunion. If that happens, there you go, another great moment.
Well,
so it's then we'll probably.
I was just gonna say with that, then I did hear that with the Gangrel coming and stuff. I kind of heard that with Christian, but that's, rumors, you don't know, but Gangril's pretty much confirmed. So then I think that's where we're going to see a Damian Priest kind of get involved. That's where he'll have his WrestleMania spot because he wasn't in this Andre the Giant Battle Royal or anything like that. So he'll probably get involved here, and that will kind of maybe muddy the waters, this and that and everything. And that's how, maybe Edge can lose and Balor can still win, the Demon and everything. But the Brood entrance, I think, will be cool. And again, it fits the whole thing. Vampires, blood, Hell in a Cell, the Demon. This will be good. And this isn't over the top like how we talked about earlier with Bray Wyatt and Uncle Howdy and all that other bullshit. That is way too gone. This is, at least it's a little hokey, but at least they wrestle. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I'm still going to go with Edge.
Yes.
We'll keep things different. You're going with Finn Balor, but I hope this match is better than maybe the build or the anticipation for it is. But a match that won't be is the women's showcase. We talked about the men's. Here's the women's: Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez versus Natalya and Shotzi, Ronda and Shayna, Chelsea Green and Sonya Deville. Man, this is one of them where it's like, pick your poison here. I mean, I think the number one. I think
pick your poison thing.
I think the number one popular team is probably Raquel and Liv. They're the baby faces. They're popular. That they've been pushed. I would say the best so far. Liv was recently a SmackDown Women's Champion. She was almost won the Royal Rumble and everything. I would almost like to see Chelsea Green and Sonya Deville get the win here, because that's a new team. You're pushing new women, different women. Chelsea, you bring her in. There's rumors Matt Cardona might come in. He didn't re-sign with Impact. He canceled a booking or something that he had previously. Then he canceled it. So why would you cancel a booking unless you're going to go with, whatever.
Unless you're going to be part of WrestleMania.
Or something like that. So I don't really know. But again, this is one of them. The same with the men. It's really, does anybody care? And the answer is no. So I'm going to say, just for the sake of it, I guess for being right, I'm going to try to give myself a point here. I'm going to go with Liv and Raquel. I think they're going to get the win.
I will say for me, just because, how shitty like the run has been for Ronda Rousey. I'm just going to stay with her just because of the name value. I'm just going to go with Ronda and Shayna, because we know who the tag team champions are right now. Becky and Lita. So that will easily be like another match. If they win, hey, we deserve a shot. There you go. Whatever, damage control, move aside. It's our turn. Let's do this. Let's have this very match. And then, because I've heard that like at some point, Shayna and Ronda Rousey are going to be tag team champions. So maybe this is the beginning. Might be although Ronda Rousey is actually injured, we'll see. But I pick those two.
Yeah, like it's one of the things where is the Ronda Rousey experiment, is that almost in the same boat as Bray Wyatt, where it's, this ain't really working out how we thought. Let's just kind of, get rid of it.
Absolutely.
But, the next match here, Bianca Belair versus Asuka. And this is one, where Asuka hasn't had the best luck at WrestleMania. I hope that doesn't continue, but does it make sense to put the belt on Asuka? Does she carry it? Is she over enough? I like the new gimmick. I know some people don't. I kind of like the creepy, I don't want to say clown makeup, because that makes people think the red nose, whatever, but it almost kind of reminds you of a clown, the white face, everything, the makeup around the eyes. I mean, she's a little bit more extreme, kind of like Kana, how she was in Japan, a little bit of that fused with the Asuka and everything. But Bianca stale? She's a great wrestler. When the bell rings, it's fantastic, but just the feuds and the promos and everything else, she's, no matter what, she's always smiling, always spinning the hair. Maybe she needs to lose and get an attitude. Maybe she needs to not say turn heel, but you kind of maybe tweak the character a little bit. So I'm going to go with Asuka just for those reasons alone. Because then I think Asuka can be a heel champion, and, you can have Rhea Ripley be the babyface champion on the other channel. So I'm going to go with Asuka. But I think this match will be pretty good. Not as good as Charlotte and Rhea, but this will still be pretty good.
Yeah, this one, Paul, I'm just gonna go with you also with Asuka, just because Bianca has been the champion for way too long now. We need a switch. And Asuka, like you said, with Kana being heel or being, because we don't really know why. Well, the main point is like Asuka, the language is not there, so she cannot cut a promo that is gonna clearly tell you, oh yeah, I'm a babyface, oh yeah, I'm a heel. I'm just Asuka, and I do whatever the hell I want, and every time I step in the ring, I'm just gonna kick some ass. And Bianca had a really good run as champion, but again, running out of like competitors, so she needs a refreshing. Maybe she turns heel, Asuka wins and stay babyface, something like that. They do like a little switch up, just because again, Bianca is just now, it's her time to drop that belt is now. So, and I know the match is going to be good. Which one I think is going to be better? Probably Charlotte and Rhea, but this one is not going to be a bummer. I think it's going to be a really good match also.
I agree. And then here we go, one that there's no way that this can't be a bummer unless they do something crazy that at least makes us get a good laugh out of it. Brock Lesnar versus Omos with MVP. I mean, what do you want to say about this? I mean, I think Lesnar is going to bump for this guy. We kind of saw that a little bit when they had the weigh-in and all this stuff, but wrestling Omos is like trying to wrestle a giant refrigerator. You know
what I mean?
Giant
Gonzalez. The Giant Gonzalez and the
like at least when Big Show was in shape and was ready to go, he could move, he could bump, he could do stuff. You could get something out of Big Show. But I don't think you can get anything out of this guy. And Lesnar's not a Bret Hart. Lesnar's not going to go in there and say, hey, what are the 2 moves you can do? Okay, we'll work the whole match around that. No, Lesnar goes, well, I suplex you, I F5, I do this, cowboy hat, smiling, everything. No, I can't see this being any good. I can't see this being any longer than 10 minutes with entrances and everything else. I'm gonna go with Lesnar.
No, I will say even less than that. Five tops, and Lesnar. Lesnar. What's the point of Omos, beating? It's just that you're gonna have another great Khali. You have another, the only reason this match is taking place, this, Vince Kennedy McMahon, Vinnie Mac one.
Yep,
he said,
and because and because Lesnar, he's obviously going to get that Mania payday. He's been here the whole Mania season, Royal Rumble, everything else, Chamber, all that good stuff. But his feud with Bray Wyatt, he said, I ain't working with that idiot. So then they're doing this, and yeah, because what happens if maybe there you go. If Lesnar wins, Lesnar and Cody, and he'll put Cody over. That would be badass. Because what are you gonna? Is Omos gonna wrestle Cody? Oh my God, please no. You know what I'm saying? No, that would be awful. But I mean, exactly. Yeah, Brock Lesnar. So here we go, the one we've been talking about, and clearly, I think our predictions. So do we even need to say? But we're gonna talk about it anyway. The undisputed Universal WWE Champion Roman Reigns with Paul Heyman going against the challenger, the winner of the men's 2023 Royal Rumble, Cody, the American Nightmare Rhodes. So I mean, adrenaline is in my soul, and you got to go with Cody Rhodes, man. This is going to be great, and if he doesn't win, I think you're going to have a lot of people disappointed. This isn't going to be like, he'll get him next time. This is going to be, like I said, Lex Luger, where it's like he didn't win. Like we're done. Not like we hate this guy, but it's like, you just it doesn't feel the same. It won't feel good. He needs to win here. And man, this match is going to be fantastic. Every time Roman goes for the cover, people are going to be their hearts are going to stop.
Oh my God, it's going to be, yeah.
And absolutely. I hope Cody mastered the Kurt Angle kick out at 2.99. I hope he could get that shoulder up at the last second a couple times, man, to get the people's hearts pumping and everything. And when he goes to pin Roman and Roman kicks out Paul Heyman's going to be going. This is going to be a fantastic match. Like I said earlier, I wish it was starting right now because I'm hyped for it. Cody Rhodes, man, he's got to win.
And like you said, we gotta go with Cody Rhodes. Everything is pointing to that. Ever since last year when he debuted, he came back to WWE. He said in the Broken Skull sessions, "What did you came here back? What's the main reason here? I want this." The Wayne Deagle pointing out that he knew Roman will be the champion. This has been in the making for almost a year.
Speaking of that, and something that's being made for maybe not over a year, but for a while now, WWE's had a new belt prepared. They said, yes, they've had that done for a while. It's, it's been on ice. They've been keeping it hidden. That there was a belt that Cody had that was all personalized. That's not it. And if it is, that's shit. I don't like personalized belts. I didn't. No, that's bullshit. I don't like the rated R. It needs to be the same for everybody. Yeah, it needs to be. I don't like a personalized belt. I didn't like the Smoking Skull belt, the Brahma Bull belt, none of them. You could sell them to the fans for collector items, and that's as far as it should go. But no, I think Cody wins, and I think he's going to hold up them belts Monday Night Raw. He's going to hopefully have Adam Pearce. Triple H would be the most legit one because he said besides his dad, Triple H is his favorite. He smashed the throne, all that, because you try to really get the feud and all that stuff going. But at the end of the day, man, he loves Triple H, and I'm sure they have a good relationship. I would love to see that Monday Night Raw. The game comes out, and he gives Cody Rhodes that new, unified title. No two belts, one belt. Man, that would be great. So that's my prediction. Like I said, this Mania, I'm excited. I'm really excited. Last year, you say you're excited, but no, this year, man, I'm really excited. This is good stuff.
Oh, no, yeah. Like every year you like to say that. We love it and all of that. But this match is going to change the landscape, I think. And like you said, Cody Rhodes, what are they going to say? The guy needs to dethrone Roman. Is the only one that has all the support. And he has even that pull of winning the Royal Rumble. And he's a little bit, just by an inch, just by this little bit more credible than Sami Zayn, though. Because many people might have said Sami Zayn, yeah, he can beat it, but you didn't believe completely that he could. With Cody, 100% this guy can beat it. He exactly. Came back for this. He represented, he wasn't champion on AEW because he knew that he had to put over AEW. So he's not, aside of everything, he's been able to reinvent himself, and he's been able to merge. He's the American Nightmare on WWE. So I really appreciate that. And for me, Cody, all 100%.
Yeah, I
A
mean,
hundred
like I
percent. And
said,
Paul, this ends up our previews and predictions. We talk about a lot the Hall of Fame. Do we like this new class? Ray Muda is great. Stacy Gibler, okay. Like you said, Timothy White for me, that's a great thing. And Rey Mysterio deserves it more than anybody. Also, Paul, it's gonna be a great weekend. Be with us, family. Right? We have
yes,
Stand and Deliver as the appetizer. 9-1, 9-2 WrestleMania. Just conclude the show, Paul, so we can all go home and sleep.
yes, guys, like you said, Stand and Deliver, night one, great stuff. And of course, night two, we're not going to miss it. We're hyped, and we hope that you will join us. And that if you don't want to stay up to date with everything so you don't miss it, follow us, Rope Break, on Facebook, the OG Rope Break on Twitter, Original Rope Break on Instagram, Twitch, and TikTok. And of course, right here on our number one platform, the home of the number one podcast in the YouTube wrestling community, the Original Rope Break.
And you and me have one thing that is left to say, and that is...